Hare Krishna, welcome to Morning Amrut Vani program. Her Grace Yamuna Swarupa Mataji will be giving her transcendental words of wisdom. His Grace Ram Kripa Prabhuji will be reading the Namamrita, followed by Srila Prabhupada quote, followed by Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Thereafter, Her Grace Rupodi Mataji will be reciting the slokas. After the Amritvani, Bhakti and Shruti Gupta Mataji will be reciting the Damodar Ashtakam. Welcome to everyone once again. Hare Krishna. Ram Kripa Prabhuji, kindly unmute and start reading. Ram Kripa Prabhuji, kindly unmute. Rupodi Mataji, you may start reading the Amritvani. Then let him start subsequent paragraphs.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, Namamrit. Those who have tasted the nectar of chanting the holy name do not care for any other spiritual bliss or for material comfort. The personified Vedas said, the most intelligent devotees do not take to any means of self realization except devotional service and constant engagement in the 9 different processes of devotional life, especially hearing and chanting. When hearing and chanting about your transcendental pastime, your devotees do not care even for the transcendental bliss derived from the liberation or from merging into the existence of the Supreme. Such devotees are not interested even in so called liberation, and certainly they have no interest in material activities for elevation to the heavenly planets for sense gratification. Pure devotees seek only the association of Paramahansas or great liberated devotees so that they can continually hear and chant about your glories. For this purpose, the pure devotees are prepared to sacrifice all comforts of life, even giving up the material comfort of family life and the so called society, friendship, and love. Those who have tasted the nectar of devotion by relishing the transcendental vibration of chanting your glories, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, do not care for any other spiritual bliss or for material comfort, which appear to the pure devotee to be less important than the straw in the street. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Hare
Ram Kripa
Krishna.
Prabhuji, you may start reading now.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Bhavadanvat Pranam. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunnitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. His Holiness Bhakti Asra Vaishnava Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vranda ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada quote, 14th October. I have given the ideas. Now you give the shape. Vrindavana, 14th October 1977. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Having heard of his spiritual master's stay here, Abhay bringing his son with him, had travelled from Bombay just to have a darshan of his spiritual master. To see Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was always on occasion for jubilation, but to see him in Vrindavana was an added perfection. This meeting with his beloved guide and friend was different from the time in 1932 when Abhay had seen him on the Vrindavana Parikrama. Now Abhay was no longer sitting anonymously in the back of a room. Now he is bona fide disciple, recognized as a Kavi who had written the praiseworthy poem and essay, the young man who listened well, the devotee who had helped the Allahabad mutt and who had established the mutt in Bombay. Already on this visit, Abhay had occasion to be alone with his spiritual master, who had remembered Abhay's son and presented him with a small bandi jacket. And now, as they walked together all alone on the bank of Radha Kunda, Srila Bhaktivinoda turned and spoke confidentially to Abhay. Sri Bhagavad Gita. Should I start Bhagavad Gita slow? Hare Krishna.
Rupati, please continue with shlokas.
Should I cite Bhagavad Gita sloka, please, Prabhuji?
Please continue.
Bhagavad Gita slok 13.25. ज्ञानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मनात्मना अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे. Translation. Some perceive the super soul within themselves through meditation, others through cultivation of knowledge, and still others go through working without fruitive desires. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.12.43. यः क्षत्रबन्धुर्भुवि तस्याधीरूढः मन्मारुरुक्षेदपि वर्षभोगै प्रसादवैकुण्ठमावाप तत्पदम्. षट्पञ्चै वर्षो यदौभिरल्पै. Translation. Dhruv Maharaj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 years. After undergoing austerity for 6 months, alas, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after undergoing austerities for many, many years. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 5.6. Prema Nritya Gita Kaila Katha Kishana Avista Ana Kaila Gopala Stavana. While there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged in chanting and dancing for some time, and being overwhelmed, he offered many prayers to Gopala. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari ki jai. Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman ki jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Hare Krishna. Today's Amrut Vani is about the Navada Bhakti, the understanding that how we have to remember Krishna, the process, the method. When we try to come into Krishna consciousness, we first understand that hearing about Krishna is very important. First, we hear about Krishna, Shravanam. That is hearing Katha, hearing pastimes of the Lord, hearing about Krishna himself, that who is Krishna? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then trying to understand the Shastra. So Shravanam is very important, hearing the holy name of the Lord, hearing his kirtan, hearing his bhajan. All these things come in association of the devotees. So that is Shravanam. Kirtanam is about speaking about the Lord and using our tongue to chant his holy names, to start remembering the Lord more and more, following the devotees of the Lord as they teach us, as the higher pure devotees do. The new devotee, the Kanishta devotee starts following that. And accordingly, he starts doing the Kirtanam and Vishnu Smaranam. When the devotee is trying to chant the holy name, to hear about Krishna and understand about Krishna, everything, he is doing Vishnu Smaranam simultaneously. So these three angas from the Navada Bhakti are so important that just by doing chanting, by hearing the katha, by even by chanting, while chanting, we are doing these three angas, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And the rest of the angas, like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. All these angas are so important that something we have to do out of this. Like during the day, we are doing some worship of the deities, some devotional service, some kind of at least surrender is there to the Guru and to Krishna. Then only we can move forward in bhakti and grow in bhakti. And as far as material enjoyment is there for the devotees, the devotees don't care much about it. They prefer bhakti than to think of material enjoyment. So for a devotee like bhukti, mukti, pishachini, like they don't want bhukti, they don't want mukti, they don't want sense enjoyment, and they don't want that they should prefer mukti, but they want that devotional service should continue. That is all. They want to just be with Krishna wherever they are, whether they are in Swarga Loka, whether they are in Narka, they don't care. They don't want anything. Their desire is only to serve Krishna. Wherever they may go, whatever they do. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that whether I am born as Kita, Kida, anything, but please, Lord, give me birth in the house of a devotee. That is more important so that I can start serving you as soon as possible, even in the next birth. That is the gist of this Amrut Vani. And then Prabhupada quote here, although it is so small that, uh, Prabhupada is saying that I have given you the idea, you give the shape. This Prabhupada spoke just a month before he left his body. He left for the real abode. But it is so important, quote, that it emphasized his mission was not just about his personal presence, but also about his followers carrying on his work. The construction of the temples, the books distribution, everything should go on. The katha, the kirtan, shravanam, everything should go on. The instruction came during conversations in Vrindavan in 1977. as Prabhupada's health was falling, it was understood that uh, this formal handing over of the movement to the next generation of leaders. Prabhupada is speaking about that. Prabhupada says that the books are the basis. The ideas Prabhupada gave are primarily contained in his books, which he considered the law books for the next 10,000 years. The content of the teachings, including the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and the principles Prabhupada gave, the 4 principles, and about the devotional service. Prabhupada spoke that there should be no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. These are the 4 principles Prabhupada gave, which one has to strongly follow this. And when Prabhupada speaks about the shape, he refers to the continued development and administration of International Society of Krishna Consciousness, that is the ISKCON. It was the disciples' responsibility to take Prabhupada's spiritual instructions and practically apply them in building temples, managing the society, expanding the preaching worldwide. And then Prabhupada, whatever this is, it is a spiritual succession. It is not a material succession. It is that one leader replacing the another, but it is the Guru serving as the central authority. It is not about leaders. It is not just about material leaders. It is about the Guru Tattva. So much Prabhupada made us understand from just one quote that even Prabhupada encouraged his followers to continue their work. And he had given all the tools and he had given all the guidance. Now it is so important that Prabhupada says, my books are not ordinary books. It is recorded chanting. Anyone who reads is hearing. He's also said that if you want to know me, read my books. All these things Prabhupada has explained so well that it is the guidance for the future. This instruction is guiding principle for the movement. The meaning that all future developments must be consistent within the philosophical foundation. So whatever Prabhupada gave is just, if we think of this one quote, we will understand so many things that Prabhupada was saying. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai, His Grace Rupalas Prabhu ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories and all glories.